I would have made a good cop. It was never in my life plan. Post 9/11, good cops appear to be frowned upon. This is an interim regime, not unlike Germany, circa 1920 and 1940. Oh, well, that 20-year mark's come and gone. Yeah, and Y2K happened right on the dot, too. When I was young, my cousin had a magician at his birthday party, and I ruined the whole thing. Okay, this isn't part of the act. Do you guys not believe that I traced threats from the FBI to Riyadh? It should be, if not more rewarding for me, at least more helpful for you. They're like, nah, this is the plan and we're sticking to it. Sticking to our guns. This place is going down. Who, what, where, why, when, and how is this authorized? I have my suspicions. Jim Florio is still alive. Maybe he wants to hear about it. You ever get the invoice? Or is the bureaucracy even being allowed the opportunity to act on our behalf? I would like to work directly with someone who is acting on behalf of the CIA. Like, they don't even have to be affiliated, or the CIA doesn't have to be a contract. They could just pick somebody. Give me a professional qualified to wage war in court. A short, sweet, not a whole lot of argument war. Be over before they have a chance to delay it. You know what? Everything has to be your business, and then find out you get Muslims. Does the CIA ever call up the FBI and say, strap on, you're shipping out? Does the FBI ever call anybody and do that? What makes you qualified to decide whether or not I can pursue charges of international pharmaceutical industrial sabotage? You just got to be part of the action? Like, how do you think that works out? If you must lose again, get in line. There has to be a limit to what a man is willing to do to survive, let alone make a buck. He doesn't have to prove it every single day. Somebody does something like I did, there has to be some kind of relief. I'm supposed to get debriefed or something. I gotta sit down with one of your plants. May as well just tell everybody, else I got homos and fucking retards cashing in pennies on the dollar. A fraction of a crumb of what it would have been worth the rest of us not to, and it's a contest. Who can sell us out first? All these stupid TV shows about people conducting encounters and forensic criminal investigations and witty cops. There's more dumb thugs. The offices that I have been to did not make me feel like I need to worry about these guys. They, of course, had been disinformed ahead of time. Doesn't exactly inspire confidence. They obviously weren't the brains of the operation, because the operation as a whole is not what one would expect from meeting productive workers like the ones I saw. The gay mafia, Mr. Director, is a real thing. I guess if you don't like the bank's offer and they don't take no for an answer, we have our ways. I might explain some, the virtual FBI's attitude. Talk about artificial intelligence. Human intelligence is capable of such stupidity. So I asked for an encounter, and I don't know, there was no confirmation or anything, but I guess what they do is they wait until I'm leaving to show up and act like, oh, he bailed. This is the standard, this is the basis for our currency. I'm supposed to bust a U-turn on a 4-lane divided highway. No, don't go yet, guys. Please, I'm begging you. Please do your job. The Central Intelligence Agency is more likely to be equipped and move in the particular circles in which my information would be most lucrative. Do I want to join them? Not if I got child molesters calling me a narc. You go through all these best laid plans to cover up your tracks, and then you don't take no for an answer. What's the point? I'm trying to move on with an investigation worth more than your whole goddamn outfit, and you're just too guilty not to get in trouble. Never mattered before. You know, you steal enough and discredit anybody who can mitigate that damage. Look, I don't know. It's not, you know, there's going to be some reform, some litigation, some legislation. I ain't worried about just you. So, responding to an emergency on the other side of the country, don't have time to wait for the janitor to get up men's bathroom, an abandoned truck stop in the middle of nowhere, use the women's. You got the legislature filibustering a third-party voter bathroom for every school kid in the country. How long that lasted? Like a year and a half. Texas canceling music programs, teaching magic class. Did a grown-up get the drop? It wasn't exactly, you know, an asset by the time I was done with it, but it'd be worth something in court. Some hillbilly zombie take it to some rapist in a lab coat and get all pissed off and fine me or something. The only way to defeat Islam is to not compete in Islam. It's not against, it's not with. Play Muslim games, win Muslim prizes. When you engage them on their level, you further their agenda. You know, back in the first Gulf conflict, we accidentally identified a wedding as a target because they were shooting. Well, the United Nations, I guess, treated that like an IPO. Subsidized vendetta against us. That's why diplomatically no one is obligated to intercede on our behalf with the school shootings. The Catholic Church, say what you will. Honesty is the best policy. And they haven't always, you know, fulfilled that mission, but for the most part, in principle, okay, we're one to start off fresh, stick to the rules. It would work. But Islam is the opposite. It's definitely not supposed to work. If their vendetta ever, you know, if it crossed into that kind of territory, obviously it would be the church. The church would find out about it, and the truth would be preserved. It wouldn't become the new business model for the future. Go bankrupt and get on with your life while somebody settles in the souls of somebody else's kids. The United Nations, I don't know what it was called before, but they did not invent population credit. In ancient Greece, if you went bankrupt, your estate, your family, your slaves, everything you owned went toward addressing that debt. What your creditor decided to do with that wasn't set in stone. Credit is real. Under no circumstances would anyone with skin in the game ever be stupid enough to let some dumb bully, some slumlord, some casino bankruptcy mogul leverage one tribe against the next with no skin in the game of his own. I don't claim to know God's plan. I just know it was written in Greek. So can I at least presume that the CIA has been allowed to see what I've been sending? You know, like enemies of the state. Picture it, just Washington, just Department of the Treasury, just by itself. Defenseless bean counter, the mercy of a bunch of big for nothing stooges. I have a reason for everything I publish, say, dude. I don't know exactly what kind of malfeasance necessarily has been at play on my behalf. I know about certain things I was expected to account for, which would not be accounted for simply by accusing me. I carry those crosses, whether they like it or not. I don't know how best to approach the situation. I do know that the sooner I hear back from a qualified legal representative or agent of the State Department, the sooner I'm done publishing my ongoing critique of our downfall